So stocks pick of the week for week commencing the 12th of May. First of all, I'm going to go back through some of the previous week's stock pick of the week. The first one, which was the first in the series when I went live, was ETON. So entry, we got around 1463, almost reached the $18 target last week. 1774 was the high. Just the stop to 1585 now, so we're locking in some profit. Just because this rejection wasn't brilliant, but we've given it enough room with here. Again, with a function on the stocks predator is our journaling here. So if we go back, I can see everything that's been since we started the journaling for this particular stock here. My notes, charts, and everything else is all in the journal for that particular one. The next week we did RSI, and that was going to be an earnings play. So we did get the earnings play and we moved down, but it wasn't really significant move down, and we've gone flat since then. So I'd like to see some more bullish sentiment coming in on the bias depth heat map. And if so, that 1264 is still a good entry. So I've not discounted this one yet because there's a nice bit of fresh air there. We're through earnings now. It didn't really react that badly. A catalyst elsewhere, news, something like that will actually give us a nice move up through that entry. BLOK was last week's. This is an ETF, blockchain leaders ETF. So remember, in the video we wanted an entry around 42.65. I think in my notes here we've got a 42.61 entry there. It did gap to fill here, which is pretty good actually. It was pretty much exactly where we wanted to get in, with a $50 target here on this ETF initially. So it looks pretty good. I will start to adjust the stop when this trailing stop actually gets through that entry there. So a little late into there, but I think that's okay. And then this week's is PRK. So again, where did it come from? It comes from the end of day scanner. And then I look at all green. I'm only interested in bulls right now. And these were the potentials for me to look at. There's quite a few good ones in there. Even natural gas futures looks pretty good. But I've chosen PRK. So let's go back to my main, for my watch list for the stocks pick of the week. And we'll hit PRK. So we'll take that filter off a second. There we go. So the PRK is our next stock, if you like. So why have I chosen it? This is why. Lots of fresh air. Again, just started the journal for this now. Full confluence, lots of fresh air to the next resistance zone at $200. Weekly bearish regression trend channel broken out of, with the Pearson's are around about 93%. Looking for an entry of 163, 164 today. Earnings not until July now, so we're good. So today, this is for Monday, the 12th. This is the regression trend channel. This Pearson's is very important. It actually looks at that when we go to the weekly. It looks how that profit taking behaved week to week, and we give this 92.5, 0.925. The Pearson's are anything over 90% gives us a nice sort of warm and fuzzy feeling that was a orderly profit taking pullback. We did go down below this weekly zone a little bit, but now we've come back up again. Lots of fresh air. Go back to the daily because this is the one we're trading it for. $200 is again good target for this. We have an entry that we want to go, and again I'll just check that price I put on there. Around about a 163, 164, depending on the gap really. We got to close at 162.89, so we can get that sort of 164.01 type of stock market order in there. That would be pretty good, but we'll see how that pre-market goes tomorrow, because I'm making this on the Sunday evening. But lots of fresh air there. This looks really, really good. So again, that's my stocks pick of the week. It's not a long live session really. I've got 4 running now because the stocks predator is reasonably new. It took 18 months to develop this, and The strategy is born from the confluence strategy I talk about in my book, Confluence, Not Coincidence. And now we have these great scanners. We look for confluence. I mean, you can even go 3 red if you want. You can look at those potential shorts, longs, take the filter off. We can go 3 green, and we can go a beta above 1, reduces it down even more. Beta above 1 is really outperforming the markets. So, we've got Shack in there, which is pretty good, actually. This is something I would probably look at once it gets through this resistance zone here. But PAR, that was the one I chose this week. Lots of other filters in there as well. We can clear all those filters. So we're currently at 4,906 stocks, ETFs, Forex pairs. We've got Indian stocks in there. We've got UK stocks. We've got futures as well. So natural gas futures here, for example, where all 3 got full confluence for a potential long here. So those looking at potential swing trade on natural gas with a potential 490 target here. This is looking pretty good for a nice sort of swing trade on natural gas futures there. Doge, even crypto we've got in there as well. So we can see where, Doge has got a potential move here. Really good move there. And again, we've got ETFs in there, stocks, everything. We scan every 24 hours. And I do a lot of live sessions, not just these stocks picks of the week, to go through those. And more importantly, we do have on our channel, on our Discord channel, we have support for our stocks predators. We have stocks predators only in here, and we can see here the community has started to discuss other things. AIQ's in there, Shack that I just showed you there, and all that sort of thing. So we've got a forum in there for our users of the stocks predator where I can go and help and give support. But these guys are really getting it really, really well. So hopefully that helps. Check out the links below for the stocks predator. This is the future of confluence trading. So it looks and really filters out those technical confluences that look for the really strong high probability moves, both long and short. Hopefully that helps, and I'll catch you all next weekend.